Oh no! It's Darth Vader! Oh!
Luke, I am your father.
No! Welcome back to helping you on 5-2. Graphing box plots using the Outlier Rule and graphing modified box plots. Shout out to Carson who inspired me to make this video. Woo! Carson, which sound of Star Wars is your favorite out of this? The Wookiee? He likes the Wookiee. Nice. Here we go. Okay, so we're going to jump over here to 5-2. So first thing you got to do is find your 5-number summary. So to find your 5-number summary, I'll give you a hint. So the minimum is the smallest number, which is 8. Maximum is the biggest number, which is 106. And you got to find the Q1, the median, and Q3. I just used my lightsaber. Look, it works on the board. Nice. So after you do that, then you want to go ahead and make sure box and whisker plot down below. Awesome. So let's see here. So there's a few ways to do this. Since we're going to help you on this assignment, might as well go all the way. So you're going to go to the stat button, go to edit, and type in all your numbers. Or go to a website where you can type in all your numbers, and that helps you find the 5-number summary. Or do it by hand, because we taught you how to do it by hand. Where you put them all in order from least to greatest, and then you work your way into the middle, right? 8, 22, 37, 45, 51, 52, 53. There we go. And then 56, 56. So really, you could pause me. That'd be a good idea. Go ahead and pause me. Pause me. And you try finding the 5-number summary, and then check back at this video to see how you did, and see if you did it right or not. So then we have 71 and 106. So let's count to make sure that we have 15 numbers. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Good. So we have our 15 numbers there. So again, to find the 5-number summary using our graphing calculator, we can go to the stat button, and then over to calc, and then one of our stats, list 1. And then you have to push the down arrow. Down arrow. And so our minimum is 8, our maximum 106. And then our Q1 is 45. Our median is 56. And if you remember, that'll be the, there's 15 numbers. So if there's 15 numbers plus 1 divided by 2. So 16 divided by 2 is the 8th number is going to be the median because it's an odd set of data. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's the median. And so you start on the number to the left of the median here, and you work your way into the middle. So that was 1, 2, 3, and this from the minimum is 1, 2, 3. So that's why that one is definitely our Q1. And our Q3 is 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 69. So there's our 5-number summary. And so you want to do a box and whisker plot now with your 5-number summary going to 106. So you would draw on your paper there 40 and 50. There we go. 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110. So 70, 80, 90, 100, and 110. And so our maximum is about here at 106. Our minimum is at 8. Our median is at 56, right about there. And then our Q1 is in the middle, 45. And our Q3 is at 69, right by the 70. There we go. And then don't forget, this is actually a TIE fighter. Yeah, TIE fighter. So with Darth Vader in the middle. So here's the cockpit for Darth Vader. He's going to go inside the middle of the box and whisker plot there. Whoa, TIE fighter! Spin out! Whoa! And so we put the wings on there to make sure our TIE fighter can twirl and also fly straight when it wants. And there's our, hey, stop it. And that is our box and whisker plot. Awesome. So next it wants us to do the outlier rule. So do you remember how to find any outliers? So I'll do the upper boundary, and everybody else that's watching this video, you practice the lower boundary to see if there's any outliers. So to do outliers, you basically take Q3 minus Q1, which is the IQR. And so you find that. And so in this case, it's 69 minus 45. So 69 minus 45. And so 69 minus 45 is 24. And so our IQR is 24. So now you take your IQR, which is 24, and you're going to make it 1.5 times bigger. Right? 1.5 times bigger. And so we do 24 times 1.5 times bigger, which is 36. And so 36 is then going to be added to Q3. And it's going to be subtracted from Q1. And so if you subtract it from Q1, that's called your lower boundary. And if you add it to 36, that's going to be called your upper boundary. So know if there's any outliers. Upper boundary. So I'll do the upper boundary with you. So again, Q3 was 69. So since Q3 was 69, we're going to add that with our 36, which is 1.5 times the IQR. So that's 9 plus 6 is 15. Carry the 1. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we get 105 as our upper boundary. And since 105 is an upper boundary, it's actually going to slice off right there at 105. And that is going to make 106 an outlier. Whoa! So we definitely have an upper boundary, an upper outlier. This is going to be a... So the maximum is not the maximum anymore. It's called an outlier. It's called an outlier. 106 is an outlier. And so that means the new maximum will actually be 71. So 71 is now going to be our new maximum. And so when we go to do our modified box plots, we're going to make 71 the new maximum. And 106 is going to be a star or an outlier. Interesting. So now, is that it? Is that the only outlier we have? Maybe, yes or no? If there is one, it'll be a lower outlier. So that means that maybe 8 is an outlier, or maybe 22 is, or maybe neither of them. So to figure out if that's an outlier or not, you're going to go ahead and do Q1, which is 45. And you're going to minus 36 now. And that's going to give you the boundary for the lower outlier, if there is one. So go ahead and try 45 minus 36 and see if we have any numbers to the left of that boundary or not. If there are any numbers left of the boundary, like 8 or 22, then they would be considered an outlier. And so now when we come to do the modified box plots, 40, 50, I always mess up on my 0. 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110. There we go. So again, now our 106 is actually going to become an outlier. And 71 is going to be our new maximum. What? So that's going to change. And then again, our Q3 is 69 still. And so that's just below that. And then our median is 56 and 45. So 45 and 56 and 69. So that really truncated our TIE fighter there. There we go. Let me try to fix that there. And so either we're going to go all the way to 8, or maybe that's going to truncate off and become an outlier, and maybe we'll get a new minimum. Right? So I'll let you figure that part out on your own, whether we have a new minimum with an outlier or not. Beautiful. And then number 5, you're going to practice the outlier rule again. Remember that if you didn't write this in your notes because you were sick or something at home, you missed our lesson. So the outlier rule goes like this. So to find the lower boundary, it's Q1 minus the IQR times 1.5. Again, our IQR is the Q3 minus Q1. It's just the middle 50% of the data, right? IQR is the middle 50% of the data. What the? And then you're going to times it by 1.5 times there. Okay, and then, so that's the lower boundary. To help us know if we have any upper outliers, lower outliers or not. Lower outliers or not. And then the upper boundary is actually going to be Q3 minus, again, the same thing, the IQR times 1.5. Nice, nice. And so that's going to be our upper boundary and our lower boundary. And so you're going to use this set of data, find the IQR, times it by 1.5, minus it from Q1, add it to Q3. Sorry about that. Almost forgot to put the plus symbol there. So Q3 plus, so the upper boundary, is there any outliers this way? And the lower boundary, are there any outliers this way? Right? So hopefully that makes a little bit more sense there. Cool. And then jump into the back side of the worksheet, Here we go. Whoa, lightsaber. So these are a bunch of vertical box and whisker plots of car fuel efficiencies. And so which category car tends to get the best fuel efficiency? So probably the small vehicle, right? Because there's a lot of vehicles, a lot of percentages in there. Yeah, 75% of it, wow. So 75% of it is up in the 30 range nearly, or 28 to 30 range, 29 to 30, 30 and above. So probably the best fuel efficiency would be the small. Now the second best is a toss-up kind of, right, between family and sports. Because sports does have a lot, maybe, or maybe that's just an outlier actually. Yeah, so we'd probably say the family is probably the next best. And then which one's the worst? Ooh. Well, upscale is kind of bad. Wow, luxury is even worse. Yeah, I'd probably say luxury, huh? But that is an outlier. So that is part of luxury that does have a good miles per gallon there. So does that maybe throw it off? Maybe, maybe not. It's only one vehicle. So yeah, so 75% of luxury vehicles are at like 25, 26 and below. And so that's pretty bad compared to the rest of them. So we would go ahead and probably say that's luxury. And maybe what about sports though? Sports should be in there, right? Because sports does have the worst with luxury. But it's also it's got way up there. It's the best out of all of them. So this is kind of toss-up, right? Family, sports, ooh, I don't know, that's a tough one. Probably just small family and luxury, but I want to put sports in there. I know, but it's 50% of the data, I guess, is better, but this is like 75% of its data, so I don't know. That's a tricky one. I don't know, that's a tricky one between family and sports for second best. But let's just go with that for now. So does every car in the best fuel efficiency have a higher miles per gallon than every in the second best? Ooh, well, not true, because this beats this, or this beats all that. So we would have to say no for that one. So part B is no. Does every car in the best fuel efficiency group have a higher miles per gallon than every car in the worst? Well, that outlier, ha ha ha. So because of that outlier, we're going to say no. Family doesn't, or even small, doesn't beat every car in the worst. Because of the outlier, you put yes, didn't you? We'll change your answer to no. Does every car in the best have greater than the worst? No, because there's a stinking outlier. because of the luxury outlier. Okay, which group has the most variability? Now we can put sports. So sports definitely has the most variability, going from the worst miles per gallon all the way to the best. And last but not least, question 7. So I'm going to let you go through each one of these properties. I want you to check the IQR. I want you to check the 50%. We can check the 50% together. So 50% of the pulse rates are greater than 50 but less than 68. Okay, well, greater than 50, so here's our minimum. Oh, but less than 68, but that's Q1. And isn't it the minimum to Q1? And then you have the median, and then you have the maximum. Yeah, it's only 25%, not 50%. If they would have said the median between 50 and 70, then that would have been correct. But because it's 50% of from, yeah, if this would have been 70, then correct. But it doesn't say 70, it doesn't say the median, it says 68. Okay, so check the IQR, check the negatively skewed. And my hint to you for this problem is to graph it and check for skewness. Okay, so highly recommend you graph the box and whisker plot for this one, because I'm pretty sure this one is either negatively or positively skewed, which is skewed to the left, skewed to the right. So it's one of those two. Because I think if you do the outlier rule, I don't think you find any outliers. Maybe double check would be a good idea. Double check, do the outlier rule. And the IQR, we could check that really quick. So the IQR is 87 minus 68. And so 87 minus 68 is 19, not 18. Blah. So it's either A, B, or E. Help narrow that down for you. All right, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Say goodbye, Carson. Yeah. All right, have a good day, you guys. Whoa. Ooh, I like that one. Oh, it's Yoda. Don't know what that is. Ooh, it's Ewoks. Take it easy. Bye for now. Watch Star Wars.